Last week, the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics released data about the earnings of workers across the country, including here in the Valley. According to one Ohio organization, the people of the Youngstown-Warren area are not earning enough, and too many employers are getting away with paying a lot less. Heather Smith from Policy Matters Ohio joins me today to go over some of the latest numbers. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So according to the information you sent us, 4 of Youngstown's top 10 occupations make too little. What are those jobs?
Yes, so those jobs that are not paid enough include the top 3 occupations in the area, which are fast food and counter workers, cashiers, and retail salespersons, as well as home health and personal care aides, are all paid under the threshold for food assistance across the country.
Do we know the percentage of people in this area that work in those industries?
About 4.5% of the Mahoning Valley residents fall into those 4 occupations alone. It's about 19,000 jobs that are being held that are being paid under the threshold for food assistance.
Now, your report suggests policymakers pass an indexed minimum wage of $15 an hour. How much less are workers making here compared to that?
So the top occupations, we look at the median wages, which means that we're looking at the wage that falls directly in the middle. So half of folks in that occupation make less and half make more. For fast food and counter workers, their median wage is $13.11 an hour, which means that half of those folks are making less than $13.11 an hour. So if we were to index a minimum wage with $15 an hour, then a lot of folks would see a pretty substantial wage bump in major occupations in the Mahoning Valley.
Your report also shows that Youngstown has not recovered from COVID losses. Can you explain how the pandemic has had an effect on job availability?
Yeah, so the pandemic really shifted our purchasing habits away from in-person and retail spaces towards more delivery and like home delivery types of occupations. So folks who are, working in Amazon storehouses, doing, stocking and order filling and that type of thing. So that, I think, changed a lot of the demographic of jobs in the area. We also know the Lordstown closure was a huge loss for the community, and that was right before the COVID-19 pandemic. So between the two of those, Youngstown has seen a lot of job loss over the last 5 to 6 years. And while some of that in the data is a little bit of a gray area because they reduced the size of the area that we use to measure job loss and growth, we can assume that some of it has to do with these shifting consumer habits.
Yeah, it's something we've certainly reported on a lot over the last several years. Finally, Heather, what other recommendations would you have for our state and local representatives to improve our livelihoods of Valley workers?
So our wages were a lot better when we had stronger unions in the area. And so being able to prevent further attacks on collective bargaining that we've seen, like Senate Bill 1 that was passed at the beginning of this year, which repealed the right for faculty to engage in striking and restricted their collective bargaining activities. Anything that we can do that's going to support unions is going to drive wages up and give people a better standard of living.
All right, sounds good. Heather Smith, we appreciate it today.
Thank you so much.